Okay. Welcome to the video interview session of the International Parents Alliance's new campaign, which we started in order to think about what could change in the field of education, how the challenges and the very inspiring solutions that arrive after the quarantine can bring us to develop a much more effective, sustainable, and equitable educational system in the future. Today, we are going to talk with Judit Horgas, who is going to introduce us and give us some inspiration what could change in the field of educating arts. Welcome, Judit, and thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you very much for asking me.
Could you please introduce yourself first?
Yes, originally I'm an English teacher, and for the past 12 years I've been the editor of a children's magazine called Dragonfly, or Sitakutu in Hungarian. And we try to teach elementary school children and the teachers about art and sciences and ecology. And during this managing this educational program, I've come across an enormous amount of problems about how children should be taught art and what art forms could be interesting for them. So we do both music and fine arts, and we also consider literature as art. So I believe that teaching literature is also a form of teaching art, or it should be. And also movement and all kinds of arts and crafts. All these should be part of what we call art education.
Thank you. And what do you think should change in the field of educating arts and humanities?
What I think fascinating is if you look at all the videos in Facebook and all the other media, you see that people started using art as a means of survival, keeping your sanity. They're singing together, making music, reciting poetry, telling stories, dancing. And these are not just artists, those as well. I mean, obviously they cannot do much in their lockdown, but also like ordinary people. They started enjoying and using art. And I think it's wonderful because it poses the most important aspect of art, and why we should be dealing with it or educating children in art is that it actually helps us to live. It's a solution for a lot of problems. And what I've found during seeing the Hungarian education system is that this is a question that we do not ask at all. We do not ask, we meaning teachers or even parents, we do not ask ourselves why art is important for the children. And because we do not ask this question, we do not answer it. So children do not know why they should be doing art at all. And at a very early age, we know that is extremely important. We know, for example, music is essential in learning about mathematics. We know from research that in order to develop literacy, storytelling is extremely important. So we have these research facts, and still we don't talk about this with children. What we say is basically snobbery. So if you think about what makes an educated person, then you will see that, okay, you should know who Shakespeare is, who's Mozart, who's Picasso. You're supposed to know about these guys. The low thermodynamics, not so much. Okay, you have to be really smart to understand about that. In order to understand art, that's okay. That's something that we expect people to know. Still, in education, we don't talk about this. Why? What is good for you if you learn about music, if you learn about a painting? How does that make you feel? We don't talk about that.
Thank you. And what do you think is the role of parents concerning this new kind of approach to educating art?
What we see from the research is that if parents from a very early age have the kind of connections with their children where they talk about culture and arts, where they have the occasion to experience art together. For example, they go to a museum together or to a concert, and they can talk about this, and they talk about how they feel, and not like the, I don't know, the actual biography of the composer, because that's not really something that would be interesting for especially for a young child. But like, just imagine you're a parent and you take your kid to a museum and you look at a painting. And I mean, if it's like a modern painting, that's something not very easy to understand. And you just talk about this. What do you think? What do you see? How do you feel? What does it tell you? And that will help the child develop the kind of thinking that something that we see is not obviously what it is, and that art can generate the kind of feelings that are worth having.
Thank you very much for your input, and thank you for saying your opinion. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.